So this is a video based on the Euclidean sequencer, which is new in the Digitakt 2. So just to give you an idea of how this works. So let's say if you're on the source menu, what you can do is press the function button, and then you can go over here to this amp button and underneath the sequencer. So if you're holding function, you'll jump into the sequencer. Now how it works is, let's say I've got this drum kit, but I want to put in steps, let's say. So it has these things called pulses. And what you can do is you can pick a instrument and you can turn up this knob. You have two pulse engines, so just by using one pulse engine, I'll send pulses to the actual the track. And you have to switch on the Euclidean mixer, which will be over here. There'll be an option here to switch this on. So I've put in 4 pulses and I've turned it on. Now, how you can actually view what you're doing is if you hold record, you'll see that there's 4 kicks here on a as per basis usual 4/4. Okay, if I turn this PL, this pulse, I can change these. So it's usually if you kind of go to even numbers. So if I go to an 8, I get it on the 8 of them in the one sequence. If I go down to 4, I get a usual 4/4 kick. So for instance, if I go to 4, let's say, there's my kick, and then I go into the snare. And what I want to do with the snare is I want to put the snares here. So I've got a whole new Euclidean mixer here, so I'll do that again. But I'll only put a 2 on it like this. So okay. Now it might be that I want to put these over here. So how do I do that? Well, the knob underneath the pulse basically rotates these upwards. So if you turn this one, you can kind of move the snares over to here. So if I was to say move on to the next pattern, take this out. Let's say this is the sound I want. And I want to put the hats in between. So I'll turn this one and put in a few hats. And I kind of want them maybe like that. But I want to move them up so they're kind of in between, like that. And it's basically just a kind of case of that. That's the kind of most, very square sequenced way of doing it. You also have a second pulse which you can add in like additional hats on top of that. So you could put in like some extra hats that will be used in a different sequence on a different time signature of a 5, let's say. Now you can run around with this all you want. And you can also kind of move it up and down and change it a bit. So let's say if I go back to the kick and put in some extra kicks and then shuffle them around. So I can kind of make up kind of a bit more of a stranger rhythms and stuff like that. I'll add in some bass sounds. So basically we have 2 different sections here. Now, if I turn this knob, let's say, I'll show you exactly what this knob does. What this actual does is it moves both of the pulses. So let's say if I put in a pulse like this, the first pulse is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say. And then the second pulse is going to be another 4, but on the off chance it's going to be here, okay? So if I wanted to move one of these, I can move that one like that, and I can move the other one like this. However, if I want to move both at the same time, I can do it like this. So this third knob here gives you both at the same time. Now there's also this fourth knob here, which kind of gives you this weird variant where you have all these various different modes and stuff like that to kind of play the 2 pulses off each other. Essentially, it's kind of just gives you different rhythms, and it's and or statements and stuff like that, which are very convoluted, but they're in the manual, and I'll probably put that down in the description. But it basically just gives you different types of ways of playing these patterns. Sometimes it'll just play one, sometimes it'll just play the other, sometimes it'll play half of the one pulse and half of the other pulse. So I'll give you an example here. Look. So we'll take this one out and then come down here. So I like that pattern maybe. And this is the AND operator. This is the XOR operator. Kind of gives it a funky rhythm. I might twist this up and down. So that's kind of how that works. But one very useful thing I found about it is, let's say if you are, you can still kind of go in and hold down these instances. You can't necessarily write in the instant, like the way when you go to a normal mode and you put in the notes like this. You can't do that once you have the Euclidean sequencer enabled. So that is disabled. However, it's handy, let's say, if you want to put hats like this, and you turn on the Euclidean mixer and you extend the pages out, so you make the actual section like a lot longer. So maybe we'll make it go all the way out till the end, and then press yes, and now we have this huge, like 128 beat pattern. And you can see there's loads of drums missing there. So what you can kind of do then is come back to your Euclidean mixer here, go to hit the sequence on that, and then just keep turning this up until you start seeing the beats come down like that. All 128. So now I have a 4/4 bar on each single page. I didn't have to write in any of those, and I got all the way down to the end. So you can kind of do that with the other instruments. Let's say the hat. Throw that all the way up. And there you have it. You have basically a good way to get through an entire 128 steps with the Euclidean mixer without kind of going to each page and putting in the steps manually. It just kind of saves you a lot of time if you need something to kind of run through your entire pattern. But that's basically how it works. It's just something simple, like it's two pulses. One you can do for a basic rhythm, and the other one is like for additional beats on top of your stuff. And it's just handy as well if you wanted to kind of make it a bit smaller and just tweak around just to kind of come up with random rhythms and random kind of sequences without having too much thought going into it. It's a bit much now. Sounds like some reggaeton I just invented there, like so. But you get the idea. Anyway, look, that's how this works, and hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and don't forget to click like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Alright, have a good day. Bye.